Hello everyone, welcome back. Now before we get going on this wall again, check the forecast. It looks like it's going to rain. Now there is some areas in the garden that I need to cut the grass in, and I need to do that before it rains, so I'm going to get that done. I'm going to fall back on this section here, and I might have a few other things I want to share with you a little bit further on into the video. Okay, see you out the back. Now when you've got a big plot like this, it's just over an acre, you can't be everywhere at once. You know, you concentrate on an area, and then sometimes these areas out of sight, out of mind kind of thing. Before you know it, they start growing really quick again. I mean, we've had unusual hot weather, and it just seems to have turbocharged everything, including the weeds and the grass. So we're going to have a bash at this today. I recently cut this bank back. It was 4 foot high with brambles. They are just coming up again, but that's not urgent. I can soon get that with my strimmer. After all, we do get some lovely wild flowers amongst it. It's the grass. Yep, I need to cut this grass, and I'm going to show you the quickest and best way I've found of dealing with it. And that's to call someone else in to do it. If only it was that easy. No, I'm going to cut it. I'm going to show you the method that I use when you've got long grass. It is common sense, but sometimes it's worth going over these issues, isn't it? So first things first, make sure your mower's in good order. Now I've got a side exit on here, which means all the grass will be ejected out to the side. It's not going in the grass box. Now when I look at an area like this, with the grass ejecting to the right hand side, what I don't want to do is start this side and then spill out all the cut grass on top of where I want to cut. So what I normally do is cut to the right first, go up that side, and then come back this side so it's shooting that way, and then back and work round a circle into the middle. That way you're only cutting the length of the grass, you're not cutting grass dumped on top of that grass, if that makes sense. Now it is common sense, I know, but it's worth going over a few basic principles. Okay, let's get cracking on this. So the grass doesn't normally get this long, but hey, it's just how it goes sometimes. So as you can see here, the grass is discharging away from the area that we're cutting. That's just the way I've always done it. I think if it gets any longer than this, it would be a strimmer job, but that section I've just done would probably take me 3 to 4 times longer doing it with a strimmer on the highest setting, with it spitting it out to the side. So there are pros and cons. Obviously we'll go around the edge with the strimmer afterwards. Yeah, certainly lush grass here, it grows very quick. Now I do occasionally let the grass grow a little bit longer than I normally would. It encourages all the butterflies and insects. It depends on what time of year, how long I leave it. All these wildflowers and daisies all provide food for hungry insects. Now the plan this year is to get all these logs moved, so it makes cutting the grass a lot easier. I've got quite a few logs through here, that way I can get on top of all this brambles before the birds start nesting. Okay, I was just speaking to the farmer. Hello dear. And he said maybe later on in the spring I'll go to his farm and maybe do a video of some of the stuff that he makes, possibly vinegars, and later on in the year when he presses the apples and pears from this orchard into the lovely cider on his farm. Now there is an area down the side here which I've been purposely leaving, because up in the side of the wall, the opening above the satellite dish to the right, the little recessed window, there's 3 baby tawny owls in there. Now soon they'll be leaving the nest, but I didn't want to disturb them around the side here. Back in the cottage now, got to do this section here, and we've got to put another piece of timber across the bottom there. We've got some difficult angles to scribe in, and I've only got 1 plank to do it in, so no room for error. I've got to cut that board down its length, but is my offcut long enough? I might have to come up with something a bit creative here. Okay, let's see whether or not it fits. There, look at that. Fits like a glove. Now I've left a gap at the top so I can get some more lime in there to go underneath our ancient old beam. That really does finish off the top of that rather well. I nearly forgot those mystery objects. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, we'll start off with this. I think we pretty much know what this is. Do you know what that is? We've had a pole on this end. Yep, it's an eel spike. Yeah, it's got some age to it. All handmade. So I actually knew what that was, but these, well, I've been told before that they could be something to do with leatherworking, but I can't see. They're like files, rasps. What you would do with leather with these? That one's like a little chisel. It's got a leather collar around it. Never seen anything like it before. If you're in that industry, or you know what these are, or could confirm that they are actually for leather working, that'll be handy to know. They are stamped up. actually. They're from a very good maker. I remember now. F. D-I-C-K. And a number 6. Well, that is it for this video. I've got lots of grass still to cut, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Don't forget to leave us a comment if you know what they are.